I was with my lovely girlfriend, Antonia, and I used to actually work at this bar.
You did?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
What'd you do at the bar?
I was a bartender.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I could bounce if need be. But anyways, I was taking her to the bar, showing her some old friends, some old co-workers, and really just to have a good time.
Going back to your old stomping ground.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now, your bar. Tell me about your bar.
It's always been a really fun place, Your Honor. He worked there for me for several years after college when he needed a job. It's a fun place where all the locals, all the college students go just to have a really good time.
What makes your place unique?
We're known every weekend for doing some stunts and performances, including the fire incident, which brought us here today.
Mr. Smith, you submitted a video of the stunt that makes your bar famous, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at it. Now, talk me through this. What is happening here?
So, successfully done. You're taking a shot of high-proof liquor.
And what is he doing here? What's the goal? What is the attraction?
To put the mist of the shot over the flame in order to make it look like you're breathing fire.
And this makes the bar crowds go crazy
Oh,
on
they
the beat?
love it.
Are you doing this every night?
Most nights, yes.
And while you worked there, you saw people do this stunt?
Absolutely. I used to do it myself.
So the stunt itself is not new to you?
No, sir. Not
and
at
you
all.
used to do it? You used
Absolutely.
to get alcohol in your mouth and blow it into a flame?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, you ever burn yourself
I was
before?
the toast of the town.
You ever burned yourself before?
No, sir.
Have you ever had anybody burn themselves while doing the stunt?
No, sir. We have trained employees who do this stunt, and he worked for me for several years where he worked at this bar, and he did this stunt thousands of times.
So he's not a novice?
No, sir.
And you're not a novice, are you, Mr. Reed?
No, sir.
Okay, so what happens? You go to the bar.
I was out there in the crowd with my girlfriend, and he spots me. So he asked me to come into the employees only area. So he wanted me to basically kind of come out of retirement. He wanted me to do the fire breathing trick that I had done years ago.
So in the past, he must have done this trick pretty well for you to
Yes,
ask
sir.
him to do it.
Yes, sir.
If I may,
Yes,
he
ma'am.
wanted him to perform something he hadn't practiced or prepared in years.
It was his choice to do it.
So,
Ma'am, for the record, state your name.
my name is Antonia Guzman.
And Ms. Guzman, were you there?
Yes, I was actually there. We were having a date night.
And Mr. Reed, what happened?
He wanted me to continue to do the stunt that I'd done in the past,
Okay.
years ago. This isn't some game. We're talking about alcohol and fire, right?
It's dangerous.
It is very dangerous. It's even dangerous when you do it with the proper proof of alcohol.
And you knew that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. He would not leave me alone. He started getting everyone in the crowd to start chanting, Robin, Robin.
So you started
Robin.
feeling the
I was
pressure of the crowd.
Yeah, I can't even lie.
Mr. Reed, tell me, what happened? How did you get hurt?
Once he basically coerced me into doing it, he gave me the lighter, bottle of liquor, and it's really a torch more than a lighter.
Okay,
but then
like you light a cigar?
You can't use it. That's gotta. Well, you can, but you kind of have to use kind of a blowtorch.
Okay.
That's really the genuinely.
So you got a bottle of liquor and a blowtorch?
And a blowtorch. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Absolutely.
This sounds like a good evening start.
I know.
So what happened?
So I did what I've normally done in the past years ago.
Okay.
I took a shot of the liquor. See, the crazy thing is the liquor doesn't actually cause the flame. It's the vapor that comes off the liquor. So if
Okay.
it's too strong, it's
I didn't know
really
that.
dangerous. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
It's really dangerous.
So it's the mist that comes off the liquor that is ignitable.
Right, yes, sir.
So what did you do?
So I took a drink of the liquor out of the bottle, and I went to blow it out to the torch.
Now, when you did that, is that how you've done it before?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then what happened?
Then before I knew it, all I could see was flames. I knew something wasn't right. So after my face and my chest and my neck were on fire.
So your face was actually
My
engulfed in
face
flames?
was on fire. These bandages aren't fake.
So you're engulfed in flames, then what?
We were on the beach, of course, it's a beach bar. So I dove face first into the sand. Couldn't see where I was diving exactly. Actually dove and hit a rock.
When you say you hit a rock, what part of your body hit the rock?
My nose.
So that's why you got
actually,
your
top
nose
part of my
bandaged
jaw.
up.
So my nose is broken and two of my back teeth were knocked out.
So Mr. Smith, what do you remember?
He's got selective amnesia, Your Honor.
Okay.
What do you remember?
Like you heard him say, he was the talk of the town. He was almost a local celebrity. He said it himself. So it did not take much coercion. It didn't take much to get him up there and do the stunt.
But you're not saying you didn't encourage him, right?
I may have encouraged him, but I didn't force it upon him. He's a grown man. He chose to do that stunt.
And you let him go forward and do the stunt,
Yes,
right?
he's a dramatic. He was dramatic back in college. He's dramatic when he worked with me.
How's this
Now-
dramatic for you? Is that dramatic
now
for you?
I thought he was just
Oh,
performing
look,
still.
Paul.
I thought he
Mr.
was
Reed.
just performing still.
Direct your comments to me so I
I
can
thought he
figure
was
this
just
out.
performing still. When he dove onto the ground, I thought that was part of the performance.
You didn't realize that he was badly
No, I
hurt.
didn't. And once I realized, I was the first person to call 911.
This had to make your heart stop.
Of course it did.
You
We
got-
could have waited for her to call 911. What was she doing? Filming.
So I'm clear, that night, you actually caught on video his face exploding into flames.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Reed, I know you've been through a lot. Is it okay that we watch that so I can understand it?
Absolutely.
Can you get through
sir.
that?
I have nothing to hide, so absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at it. So this is you. Talk me through this. What are you doing?
Right, so there's the liquor, and there's the torch, and there's my face on fire. Right? Right?
I know you
Yeah.
must have been going crazy.
Exactly.
When you go down, that's when you jump down into the sand.
And that's where I hit my nose, and also knocked out two of my teeth. So why this man doesn't want to man up and help me out when it happened on
I
your
was the
property
first person to
at
call
your
911.
bar?
What was your girlfriend doing?
Aren't you old?
You know, you guys-
You're old to be a bartender.
You guys sound like
on fire.
you guys sound like
Set
old
himself on
friends. But today you talk to me, Mr. Smith. When his face goes up in flames, didn't you think by then something had gone bad? You don't believe this is your fault, do you?
No, it's not my fault, sir.
Tell me why.
He did this of his own free will. I did not force the bottle into his hands, which is the same bottle that all my other employees use.
It's not the right proof of alcohol. This is
It
not
is the
rocket
same-
science.
You're lying.
All my
It's
other
not rocket
employees use.
science.
Mentiroso!
Folks,
he should know the strength of the alcohol. See, you can't get away.
Did you know the strength of the alcohol?
I did not.
And he shouldn't have done it. It was his choice.
You
to do
shouldn't
the
have
stunt.
asked me,
You are a
moron.
grown man. You chose
Now,
to do it.
Mr. Reed, I need to understand this. You are suing Mr. Smith for $100,000 in past medical expenses and then $200,000 for future medical expenses.
Correct.
What is your understanding of what you're going to need for future
Multiple
meds?
skin grafts and multiple different plastic surgeries.
Face and chest?
Absolutely.
That's you, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what we're looking at here. This is right after
I'll tell you what you're looking at. You're looking at third-degree burns.
on your forehead and your cheek.
I look like a villain in a movie. Someone coming for that movie star. Check.
How about your chest? So that's your chest?
Absolutely.
Mr. Smith, this is the result of the stunt being done. I mean, regardless of whose fault it is, it happened in your bar, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you believe he took it on himself, and this is the price of doing dangerous things.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you see that, Mr. Reed?
No.
That this is the price of doing dangerous things? You don't see it that way?
When the other party in the stunt is negligent, absolutely.
Mr. Reed, tell me this.
Sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Yeah.
And I want you to receive
Absolutely.
it, but
Absolutely.
respectfully.
Absolutely. Cut the check.
Thought you'd say more, but we'll deal with that. So, Mr. Smith, tell me this. With your prior employees who have done this stunt, did any of them refuse?
They always have the right to refuse. He could have refused, and I'm not going to punish them for it.
Now, on this night, though, you've got a full bar.
Yes.
It's my understanding that the crowd was getting hyped up, so everybody's looking forward to this. Kind of hard to say no, right?
Maybe, but he still has that right.
And you could have said no, right, Mr. Reed?
100%.
He does all this for his social
And,
media
and you,
accounts.
you
for
think
his
giving
accounts.
giving
His
way to the
girlfriend
pressure.
admitted to filming them.
Paul, the adults are speaking.
Gentlemen, we need order in this court.
His girlfriend admitted to filming it. She was there filming the stunt the entire time for her social media page, which she said.
You have a
filming
problem
it.
with her filming it?
When I was the first one to call 911, and she continued to film the stunt because this is what he does.
So, Ms. Guzman, you filmed this all the way with Mr. Reed going down to the sand after he had been engulfed in flames.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Yes, Your Honor, but
Their social media.
it wasn't until I heard him yell in pain from hitting his nose on the rock. I stopped filming as soon as that happened.
But when he burst into flames, you still thought it was part of the stunt.
I did. I actually had no idea that he was.
And Mr. Smith, you thought so too.
Yes, I did.
Well, at least we got one thing we agree on, right? That both of you didn't know that it had gone bad until he went down to the ground,
Yes, Your Honor.
right? So you go down into the sand, and that's when you slammed your face onto a rock.
Face first.
And I've seen
Did it
him
knock
beat
you
it.
out?
Knocked out cold? No, but was I stunned? Were two of my teeth gone? Was my nose broken? Did I have third-degree burns all over my body? Yes, absolutely.
Now, Mr. Smith, you seem like you were a little ticked about the whole social media flair that Ms. Guzman adds to this equation. Why?
Because that is proof that that is part of the lifestyle they both choose to live.
Because it's not
Lifestyle,
he's not
a
popular on
social media lifestyle?
He's just
The
jealous.
social media of his dangerous stunts.
He doesn't have any friends.
That's what their social media pages are dedicated to.
Well, you actually submitted some materials to the court that capture some of that stuff. These documents are from the plaintiff's social media, right?
No safety gear. He's free.
Now, Mr. Reed, that's you on the side of that mountain, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Ms. Guzman, do you accompany him on these thrill-seeking exercises?
Yes, Your Honor. I am his personal videographer.
So you're filming in full anticipation that you're going to put it online.
Yes, Your Honor. And as you can see, he isn't a pro, but no one
But the
is
thing was, it
pushing
hadn't been
him to do
5 years in
something that he can't
between
do.
since I last kayaked.
No one is pressuring him to do something he had never practiced.
yet he
he's
chose to
never
do it
done.
himself.
But y'all agree that you are a bit of a thrill seeker, right?
I would say we live life.
Okay.
fullest.
Now, Mr. Smith, given that he's a thrill seeker, did that enter into your decision to ask him to do this stunt?
Yeah, I knew he enjoyed performing for crowds. I knew he enjoyed those aspects of those dangerous stunts, and I trusted that it was going to go okay.
Mr. Reed, I understand your injuries. I want to understand the pain and suffering experience. Tell me what you're going through.
So I have third-degree burns on my face,
Yes,
my
sir.
neck, and my chest. I had the two teeth that were gone, and the broken nose. But Your Honor, it's not about the physical
Seems
thing.
like this hurts you even to look at these pictures.
Well, it does.
Your
it
Honor,
does.
it's also hurting our bedroom
Whoa,
life.
what are you doing?
So you're rough on everybody. Show respect. Show respect. At least in my courtroom, do so.
I apologize.
Now, what's been your daily experience with
But,
these
but,
injuries?
but it's that the physical things can heal, Your Honor. It's the things you can't see.
None of that is my fault.
That's what this guy can't understand.
Are you worried about scarring to your face?
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I think I've heard everything I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision. In every personal injury case, the plaintiff has to prove three things. That the defendant committed a wrong that caused the plaintiff's injuries. Here, you're doing a stunt at Mr. Smith's prompting. But you had every expectation that the alcohol would be proper and that this would turn out just fine. And frankly, it would end up on social media and people would think you were a bad mamma jamma, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You, on the other hand, Mr. Smith, you'd say he did this willingly. No one coerced him. He could have said no.
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Well, see, that's the tricky part when you apply law to this. The law requires that I, as the judge, consider the fault of everyone involved. Everyone had a hand in this. You could have said no, Mr. Reed. You could have not gotten him involved, Mr. Smith. The result was terrible and life-altering. Let me give you a legal lesson, Mr. Reed. When you take on something as dangerous as spitting alcohol into a flame, you have to understand that this can go bad, and you must take ownership both of the risk, but also of the consequences. Mr. Smith, let me give you a legal lesson. Whenever you as a proprietor engage in an activity or encourage people to engage in an activity that is inherently dangerous, you must take extra care to make sure that people are safe. And that's what this case is about. Mr. Reed, you are asking this court to give you $200,000 for future medicals, $100,000 for your medical bills,
Yes, Your Honor.
and $500,000 for pain and suffering.
Absolutely.
I am not going to give you all of that because not all of this was Mr. Smith's fault.
So
You are at fault for your injuries, but not alone. I find that you're 49% at fault, and you, Mr. Smith, are 51% at fault. Mr. Reed, I find in your favor, in the amount of $408,000, 51% of what you are seeking. That is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned.
I know everyone is thinking it. I know I'm thinking it, and I'm just going to say it. You mean to tell me that this guy right here had third-degree burns, and yet he still has both his eyebrows, he's clean-shaven, hasn't had to affect his ability to clean-shave his face, even though he's got bandages on it, and his hair is still perfectly coiffed. This guy looks like a handsome guy with bandages stuck on his face. Do I think he was actually really burned? I don't think so. I think there's a chance that he wasn't burned. And I'm sorry, when you get a broken nose, you have black eyes, you have bruising, you have things on your face. I don't see a single ounce of proof that he actually was injured. And if you look at the way he was attacking his former boss, the way he was doing it is he was trying to go after him in ways that just didn't quite make sense. So I think that this whole thing was planned from the beginning. I think that his girlfriend was definitely there and in on it, and they knew that if this is the stunt that they were going to do, he was going to fake an injury and he was going to take his boss to court and sue him. That's why he did it. I don't think that he genuinely has third-degree burns on him. I don't think it's real, because if he did, he wouldn't be able to shave his face because it would be too painful on the wounds. He would have bruising on his face if his nose was broken, and he wouldn't have his eyebrows because the flame would have singed those things right off. That is just my take on this one, guys. I don't know if this is an accurate assessment. I disagree with this judge. I don't think that this judgment was correct. I don't think that he deserves any of the money because I don't think he actually was burned. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Whose side are you on? Are you on his side or are you on the other guy's side? Do you think he was really injured or do you think he was not injured? I want to know. Let me know.